Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 18th, 8:32 a.m. First order of the day, Dunkin' Donuts, $12.02 for 6 miles. Woke up at 5 a.m. to watch the Cubs lose on opening day, so I'm in a wonderful mood. Hello. Back with an update a couple hours later, actually, almost 2 hours later. You didn't miss much. I had that Dunkin' that I showed you, $12.02 for 6 miles. And then drove up to my spot and I immediately got a Wendy's. $5.50 for 3.5 miles. Normally I would not take that, but I just had a feeling it was going to be slow. So I went ahead and I took it anyways. And customer ended up adding $2 to the tip. So it was $7.50 for 3.5 miles. So I'm not sure why they added $2, but I'm grateful for that. So I'm at $19.52, and I had just been sitting here for literally about an hour and a half. And at least an hour, maybe an hour. Yeah, almost an hour and a half. And I actually took a little nap. I dozed off, and then I woke up and I had to pee like crazy. So I ran over to McDonald's, I peed, back to my spot again. Been sitting here for about 15, 20 minutes. I got a Chick-fil-A trip radar. That was like $10.50 for 5 miles. Somebody else got it over me. Must have been closer. I don't know. That's on Uber. Like they've been doing a lot more lately. They'll just send the same order to a bunch of people and you match to it. So you click on match, and then I'm guessing based on whoever's closest to the restaurant gets it. And I mean, Chick-fil-A is just like right over there, but somebody's probably sitting in the parking lot that got it already. Kind of bummed I didn't get that one. That was a good ass order, but now I got a Panera. I think it said, I didn't look at it because I just wanted to match to it as fast as I could before it disappeared. It was $8.56 for 5 something miles. So I'm gonna head back here to Panera, pick that one up. It's dreadfully slow right now, but this will put me at like $28 and change. So not a disaster. The downfall about the Cub game this morning, I turned my apps on at like 7. It wasn't even really the Cub game. It was my mom. My wife wanted Starbucks. It was like 8 o'clock when I normally come out. So being a good husband, I'm like, okay, I'll go pick it up. So I went and picked it up. I had my apps on, and I had a bunch of offers. Nothing crazy good, but a bunch of offers that I would have taken if I didn't have to run to Starbucks. So obviously I didn't take anything, and I drove back, and I dropped off the Starbucks to her. I mean, it kind of worked out, because then I got that Dunkin' Donuts order right when I left the house. That was $12.02 for 6 miles. That was better than any of the other offers I got while I was making the Starbucks run. So I guess it kind of evens out, but since I come back out, all the apps got quiet. Around here on the weekdays, as I was saying, around here on the weekdays between like 6:30 and 8, it seems to be somewhat busy. But I'm not able to work because I let the wife sleep. She gets up at has to go to work at 8, and she tries to sleep. I try to let her sleep in as much as she can, since I've got this gravy job. So I get up with the kid. I get her ready for school and all that, so I'm not really able to go out and work. Excuse me. Yeah, I need a little jolt. So yeah, I was getting a bunch of good offers, but I couldn't take them. Long story short, about $27. It's $10.21. Probably not going to hit my $40 goal by 11, but that's okay. It was busy yesterday. Usually, like when it's busy on a Monday, it's slow the following Tuesday, or sometimes it'll be vice versa. It'll be slow on Monday and then busy on Tuesday. It's never usually busy on both days. So I've come to expect it. If I can get to like $80 by the end of lunch, I'll be happy. But I'm at Panera now. Panera bread. Gonna go in and grab this.
Jay Saunders.
For the 15. Make sure the ones. No. Do you have it?
I have Keza for Uber Eats.
This one is a
Another satisfied customer. So, I did that Panera. And it was $8.50 something for 5 miles. And as I was on the way, I got a GrubHub for Dunkin' Donuts, $8.30 something for another 3 miles. That's why you multi-app. So now all of a sudden I'm at $36, and it's not looking too shabby. Still got 11 minutes before 11 o'clock. Maybe I get it 40 if I get something quick. Let me turn this camera off and let you know. Oh, and it comes through at the buzzer. 10:55. Not really at the buzzer. By the time I drop it off, it's going to be after 11. Doesn't really matter. $16 for 4 miles for Michael's. A Michael's delivery. I haven't got one of those in a couple weeks. So that's good. So that'll put me at $52 by what, 10 after 11? So that's not bad. I know my goal is $40 by 11, but that goal really doesn't mean anything. If I'm getting crappy offers, I'm not going to take them. Even if it gets me to 40. Ooh, Raising Cane's. Looks like it is nearing completion, and there's cars in the parking lot. So are they starting some training in there, maybe? See, you got some cars over there. Ooh. So, for those of you that like your chicken to taste like water, Raising Cane's is about to open. Actually, I like Cane's all right. The sauce is fire. I think most people agree with that. And the Texas toast is good. You always got to, you get the combo, the 3 or the 4, the box combo, whatever. What is it? Four chicken tenders, slaw, toast, and a sauce, and you trade the slaw for an extra sauce. That's the go-to for me. So you get 2 sauces, the toast and the chicken tenders. But now that's like $15 or something. I remember when I used to go to the ones in Texas, you get that for like $9. You get that for like $9. Now it's like $15. But, you know, it's the world we live in now. So Michael's is just back here in the strip mall, and we'll go grab this and see what it is. Hopefully it's nothing too big and bulky. Pull into the strip mall, and you always see a bunch of cars, people sitting in their cars out here in the parking lot. I'm assuming they're DoorDashers. At least some of them probably are, because there's a handful of them. It just makes you think, you know, if these people were smart enough to multi-app. Well, I know Uber actually is really strict with their background checks. I know of some people personally that don't even have a bad background. They can't pass the background check. It's really hit or miss. I got a DUI back in 2008, back in my 20s, and I still passed my background check. It took me like 3 minutes, and they got back to me and said that I was good. Other people have been waiting months and never hear back. So I don't know exactly how that works, but whatever. It seems to be random. My dad can't even get on Uber, and he's had a clean record for 20 some years. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But if you're able to multi-app, this is why you do it. I get this $16 for 4 mile order at Michael's. Then you got all these people sitting in this lot. All those people, all those cars over there. I don't know if you can see them. Have people sitting in them. I don't know if they're all Dashers. They're probably not. But I know some of them probably are. And they're just sitting there on their DoorDash not getting nothing because they're Platinum Dashers. And they want to keep their acceptance rate up. So they only run DoorDash and don't run GrubHub. They don't run Uber Eats. They don't run Roadie. Which I don't really run Roadie that much because it's not worth it. But if you're able to multi-app is better than everything. It just is. I've done it in multiple markets. I've done it in Chicago. I've done it in Milwaukee. I've done it here. I've done it in Detroit. Multi-app is the way to go. It's not hard. Some people think it's hard. I don't understand why people think it's hard. I think a lot of it is because people think they freak out when their acceptance rate gets low. Acceptance rate doesn't matter. Stop worrying about being a Platinum Dasher. Well, it's big and bulky, but it's light. Don't know what's in here, but probably nothing I'm interested in. I'm not a regular at Michael's unless I'm picking up a delivery. Ooh, another Starbucks offer. Let's see what that is. One thing to add about these package deliveries, if you get an offer on Uber Eats and it says package instead of delivery, packages aren't tracked. And I don't know for sure if the customer is given an actual ETA, but it's not food, so it's not like a super big hurry. So I mean, I try to do it as long as it's on the way towards the package delivery. I'll take a food order too from a different app. Like, I just got a Starbucks offer. It's like $4 for 6 miles, so I'm not going to take it. But it's going pretty much exactly where this package is going. And as I said, these orders, I'm pretty sure they don't track you on the app, like where you're at for package deliveries. And also, they can't pull the tip because the tip is already, once you drop it off, the tip is yours. So they can't pull the tip on these package orders on Uber like they do on the food delivery. On the food delivery ones, I wouldn't mess with. Number one, because it's food. Like, you don't want to give cold food to a customer. And they have the option to take away the tip. But if I'm just delivering whatever's in this box, it's not like it's going to get cold. It's just some kind of decoration or something. So it's not like a super urgent rush. I mean, always deliver it as quickly as you can. But if you get a food order from a different app while multi-apping, going to that same area, you might as well take it. That's all I'm saying. Give you a little update. Almost an hour has passed since I delivered that Michael's order, and I declined a bunch of DoorDashes while I got back to my spot. None of them were really any good. I was being greedy, waiting for a juicy one to come through. Didn't really happen. But the ones that I declined weren't any good anyway, so I figured I'd just sit there and wait. Finally, at like 11:50, about 30 minutes after I parked in my spot, I got a double offer for Smoothie King and Jersey Mike's on Uber Eats. $16 for 8 miles. I knew that the Smoothie King was a no tip because they just offered it to me like 30 seconds before they offered me the double order. Usually when they do that, they send you a no tip order, then all of a sudden they send you a double order from that same store. They combined that no tip with a good one. So it was like $2.21 for 4 point something miles. So I immediately accepted it and dropped the Smoothie King order, which was the no tip. And I've got this Jersey Mike's. I'm almost certain this is a good one because it's like 3 or 4 sandwiches and 3 or 4 drinks. Going to a business, usually when people order for like the whole office, it's a nice tip. So I feel like I made the right decision. I'm 99% sure that the Smoothie King was a no tip order. So I feel good that I dropped it. They don't deserve to get their shit delivered. But Jersey Mike, come on, flip around. I got this Jersey Mike's here. All the drinks are in the bag. Gatorades and bottle drinks and whatnot. So destination's coming up here ahead. I got to get back to the map, so I'll keep you updated and I'll let you know what the payment is. I'm the greatest of all time. Exactly what I said is exactly what it was. It was $16 for 8 miles. I delivered the order, and I went to my earnings to see, because Uber tells you what the total pay is supposed to be. And it said total for this trip was $13.79, which means that $2.21 order was the no tip order. So good on me for dropping it. I hope they're still waiting for their smoothies. So I'm going to be in $13.79 for 6 or 7 miles or something like that. So not bad. But we're at about $66. It is 12:14. Now we are downtown. Hopefully we get something down here, but I doubt it. Nothing good, at least, usually. Make our way back to the spot. Well, I feel like this happened I think it was last Tuesday too, where like breakfast was okay and I was getting offers. Wasn't great, but it was somewhat steady. Now today, man, since 11 o'clock, I've done one order. That Jersey Mike's $13 order. Made a decision and I moved. I came up a few miles to another strip, Riverside Boulevard, which is like our second busiest hot zone probably in town. Quiet up here too. $66 still. 12. Oh, I'm getting a Chipotle. Be back soon. Guess what the DoorDash was for Chipotle that I just turned my camera off for? $2 for 0.7 miles. I should go steal it, but I'm not going to. All right, well, I did finally get something. Headed there now. Panchero's Mexican Grill, which is basically a Chipotle. I don't know if you all might have them in your market. They're a chain, I believe, a smaller chain, like a Qdoba. $8.75 for 6.5 miles, and it's pulling me back down to my part of town. So better than what I've been getting offered, which is nothing. So we'll go ahead and take that one. This will put me at like $75. Man, I was looking after that Jersey Mike's order, man. I thought I had a shot to make a comeback and get to $100 by the end of lunch, but not looking like it. I got some pork chops, bone-in pork chops pulled out at home. I'm not sure if I want to grill them or put them in a crock pot, smother them with some cream of mushroom soup, some carrots, celery, potatoes. They're fire. I make them every now and then. You let them sit in that crock pot for at least 6 to 8 hours, as long as you possibly can. The longer you wait, the more tender they are, and it just melts in your mouth. They're amazing. You can do it with like chicken too, chicken thighs or chicken breasts. It's good stuff. I make it occasionally, but that would require me to go home or basically go to the store right now, buy the carrots, buy the celery because we don't have any at home, and the cream of mushroom soup, and then go home and make it and get it into the crock pot. By then it wouldn't be till 2 o'clock, and then it really wouldn't. I mean, you could get away with eating it like 4 hours, but it's not going to be as tender, not quite as good. Usually need at least like 6 hours for it. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow and just start it before I even leave the house in the morning. Might be what I do. So we'll get this Panchero's picked up and we'll get it delivered, and maybe we can get another one before I have to pick up my daughter. We'll see. I'm not confident. What's happening? 4:36. I just came back out. I left the apps on at home and I wasn't even getting anything at the house. Oh, of course. Now I'm getting a DoorDash. Give me a second. It was nothing. Steak and Shake, $5.25. $5.25 for 5.5 miles. That Uber was the Portillo's, $3.49 for 7.5 miles. So those are my first two offers up here after I hang out. I got one offer on the way up here. It's terrible. DoorDash, like $4 or something like that. I can't remember. Something bad. But at least it's nice out. 64 degrees. Not too warm, not too cool, but not expecting it to be a busy night. I'm at $75. If I can get to $150, I'll be thrilled. But I'm not even sure that's going to happen. I'll keep you tuned in. Went ahead and took an offer that I really didn't want to take, but I got tired of sitting there. Oh, excuse me. Tired of sitting there. Chick-fil-A, $7 for 5.3 miles. And as you saw from the screenshot previously, no tip, which is okay. Whatever. I accepted it. The pay was good enough for me to take it, apparently. So that's not the issue. People have the guts to like not tip you and then be sitting on their front steps waiting for you to deliver their food. I don't know. It's almost like they're daring you to say something. It's weird, man. Like, if I wasn't tipping somebody on these apps, I would not want to come near my front door and show my face. But trashy people. They were trash. I'm not just saying that because they didn't tip. They were trash people. They didn't look trustworthy. I'll say that much. Anyway, so I'll head back towards my spot. At least I'm kind of still close to it, so I still should be getting offers if there are any. But Slow Tuesday continues. Just took a double order, $15.54 for like 6 miles or something like that for 5 guys, and this Alibaba Mediterranean place. Not the best double order, but it's slim pickings out here, so the dollars to miles is almost 3 to 1, so that's good. So we'll go ahead and do that. Just a little advice too, going back to like non-tippers and low tip orders. These apps, they try to manipulate you into thinking you need to keep your acceptance rate so high so you can get all these great orders that may or may not exist. But if you find yourself, being one of those people that has to accept the $3 or $4 offers because you're trying to stay platinum or whatever, and you notice that your satisfaction rate from your customers is low and you don't understand why, it's because you're doing the $3 and $4 orders. Those are generally the people that are looking for a reason to give you a bad review and try to get free food and try to get their money back for the food because they're being cheap to begin with. That's why they don't tip you, because they're just looking for a scam. That's basically what a lot of them are doing. So I know a lot of people that you may be doing a great job, you may be doing what you're told, you may be a wonderful dasher, but for some reason your satisfaction rate is like 92%. Or at least on DoorDash it might be like 4.5 instead of 4.9. That's because the more or less low paying offers you do, the more less desirable customers you're delivering to in most cases. So just be careful, and pay attention to where you're delivering to if you know your market. Look at the map before you accept. I know you're trying to maintain your acceptance rate or whatever, but if it's taking you to a bad part of town or something like that, just keep that in mind when you're accepting it, that, you might get a shitty customer. So that's just my opinion, and that's just, things that I've experienced myself. Taking low-paying offers, especially when I first started, didn't really know what I was doing, and I was just kind of taking whatever was offered to me. I'd get burned a lot by that. I used to get called by Uber all the time. Customers said they didn't get their order, and I would just be so confused. Like, I handed it to them. Then it's like, oh, so you get a lot of offers where it's like, you're supposed to take a photo, but the person conveniently stands at the door and they want to snag the food out of your hands. Sometimes, those are the ones that are trying to get free food, try to say that they claim they never got the order because they don't want you to take a picture. So, that's not always the case. I've handed deliveries off several times to people that, when the order wanted a picture, and I never had any issues, but it can happen. So just be careful. There's a lot more cons than pros when accepting a low-paying offer. And that's not even including whatever snags you come into at a restaurant. If you're taking a $4 offer, then you get stuck waiting at the restaurant for 10 minutes. And then by the time you deliver it, it's been 30 minutes. Yeah, that's $8 an hour, not even including gas. Not worth it. I just want you all to make good money, that's all. This job can be profitable if you do it the right way. And the right way isn't the way these apps want you to do it. If you do things the way these apps want you to do it, your car is going to be broken down and you're not going to have any money to pay for it because of all those $3 orders you did at Alibaba. Hi again. It is 6:53. I did that GrubHub double order. I waited, man. I forgot. I haven't done many GrubHub double orders lately. I forgot how bad GrubHub is with wait times, man. The restaurants I went to, Five Guys and Alibaba, I usually never wait when it's Uber Eats or DoorDash orders because they time it right. GrubHub, they send you there as soon as the order comes in, and they make you sit there and wait at the restaurant. And if you don't make your way to the restaurant within 5 minutes, they threaten to take the order away from you. So you get there, and I sat at each restaurant for at least 15 minutes. About the same for each one. It's probably actually almost 20 minutes at Alibaba, maybe 15 minutes at Five Guys. All for $15, so it's like like $15 in 45 minutes. Thankfully, right after that, I got an $11 for 7 mile order coming right back to my zone, so it actually worked out. But, your orders are piling in. Just picked up dropped off the Charlie's cheesesteaks order. It was $10.97 for 7 miles. But like I said, it brought me back to my zone, so it was worth it. It took a few minutes, but I got a Uber Eats, $7.23 for 2.7 miles to a regular back here. I know exactly where they live, so it should be a nice and easy one. I was looking at some of my videos and reading some new comments, and a couple of you asked like which DoorDash YouTubers that I watch. There's several of them. I can't think of all the names right now. Dashing Trader, DoorDash Diaries. For me, like the most informative one, and the guy, I mean, I don't want to say guy I agree with the most, because I pretty much operate the same way Dashing Trader does. I pretty much run my shit the same way that he does. But Your Driver Mike, I'm sure a lot of you that watch me probably watch him, but if not, Your Driver Mike is very good and very informative, and he does a lot of the things. I learned some things from him, but a lot of the things I was already doing when I started watching him. But he goes over all the gig apps. He does mostly food delivery stuff and DoorDash and Uber Eats stuff, but he does all the, if there's a new gig app that comes out, he covers it and gives you all the information and tells you what it's all about, and he does it himself. But as far as like advice on like how to do things, and he's in a bigger city. He's in Pittsburgh. So it's a little different in a bigger city. You deal with more high rises and this and that. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. I'm mostly houses and like small apartment complexes that are like super easy to deliver to. And that's why I think I live in like a perfect size city, because it's big enough to where it's busy enough, but it's not too big to where I'm delivering to a bunch of ridiculous high rises for $5 and just, you know, a lot of time consuming type things with lack of parking and delivering to like big apartment buildings would be the worst. Thankfully, those are two issues I don't have to deal with here. But Your Driver Mike, watch him. He's got a ton of subscribers. And his videos are way better quality than mine. He does a great job of explaining things and giving advice and all that. So I highly recommend him. Pulling up the Panda right now, $7.23 for 2.7 miles. Let's get it. Little Noodles and Company order, $6.67 for 2.5 miles. Nothing crazy. It's a regular. I have his code memorized. Another one of those days, I guess. I'm actually even out here longer than I planned to be, and I still only made $130. Well, that's how it is sometimes. Yesterday, I made like $130 by lunchtime. By the end of lunch, I was at 130, like 127 or something like that. And that was, I even went home early from lunch at like 1 o'clock. But that seems to be how it is in my market. If you have a busy Monday, you can count on it being a slow Tuesday. And then Wednesday's usually meh, and Thursday it sort of picks up a little bit, especially for dinner. And then Friday starts to get busy into the weekend. 443 for 0.8 miles. No, thank you. So I'm probably gonna head home. Got a Hachi sushi order. Anyway, it was $8.50 for 6.2 miles. I was right next to it. It was like I was passing it as it was coming through. And I don't know if you remember from my previous videos, but that sushi place takes forever. So I wasn't willing to stand there for 20 minutes to wait for $8.50. Especially considering I was right next to it. Probably would have waited 30 minutes. But that'll do it for today. Today's probably going to be a pretty long video. I apologize for that, unless you like the longer videos. My initial goal when I first started doing this was to keep between like 10 and 12 minutes. Because I just kind of always heard that was the sweet spot. But if I'm out here all day, and I want to give you the full transparency of what this is like to do full time, and I guess the long videos are just going to be longer. But if you like my videos, please like, subscribe, and comment. And leave me a middle finger emoji in the comments. Thank you for watching. And we will see you, most likely, in the morning.